All right, guys. We're back after what feels like a month already. We got Perry here. We got Josh here, guys. What's up? How we doing? It's been a minute.
Doing well, doing well.
Yep.
All
Yep. It's
right,
been a
guys.
minute for sure.
Yeah, I'm sorry for that because life got in the way, work got in the way. This is the only time of day and in the week I can get this to happen. So thank you guys for joining. So yeah, without further ado, we got four topics to discuss. Let's see if we can reach the hour or even less. And without further ado, guys, let's kick it off with arguably one of the top movies of the year already, and we're already in June. For someone who hates horror films because of jump scares, this film made me become literally obsessed with it, and I know you guys know that too. And I'm talking about obsession, guys, of course. And without stalling, Perry, give us your thoughts right away on obsession, and if you think it's and this incredible record it's breaking nonstop with money.
Well, I think it's fair to say that I'm obsessed with this movie. Uh, in all seriousness, I think this is my favorite movie of the year so far. Indy Neverett, the lead actress, plays Nikki. I think gives the performance of the year, one of the best of the decade. Uh, I've never been so uncomfortable watching a movie. My theater was packed, and I'm just sitting there like that. I never get that way for movies, but it just really impacted me in such a way where the movie itself isn't inherently like scary. It's not your typical jump scares, but it's very unsettling.
Mhm.
And uh, I think the way that they handle it, where your main protagonist is kind of the bad guy. Not kind of, he is the bad guy. But he's doing all these things, and it just gets crazier and crazier and crazier. And the more it goes, the more unsettling it gets. The more uncomfortable you get. The fact that this movie was made by a 26-year-old Curry Barker,
Yeah.
and it was made on a budget of only 750K.
Mhm.
It really speaks volumes to the future of the film industry and the future for horror, because this year has been such a great year for horror films. I know also this month we had Backrooms, made by
Mhm.
Kate Parsons, who's 19 or 20 years old. So the future is super, super bright. You got a lot of fantastic performances in this, and you could see why it is having the success it's having because of the reach it has online.
Mhm.
Curry
Yeah.
Parker he brought his come up was made through making TikToks. Him and one of the other cast members, Cooper Tomlinson,
Yeah.
have a history of making tons of skits on TikTok, and I've seen a ton of them now after this movie.
Mhm.
So it's definitely reaching with the audience, and I'm very happy to see it. This whole thing just makes me very excited for the future.
Josh, how about you?
Yeah, this movie actually came onto my radar all the way back in September. So I live not too far from Toronto, and I was looking at movies that were going to be playing at Midnight Madness at TIFF, and
Mm.
this was one of them. And I was looking at it, I was like, "This looks interesting." And I heard the name Curry Barker, and I didn't know who that was at the time. I actually thought I was like, "Is this guy related to Clive Barker, the writer from like Hellraiser, Candyman?" Uh, no, no relation, by the way. But it was getting like really good reviews at TIFF, and I was like, okay, one to keep in mind. And then, of course, now here we are 9 months later. The movie finally comes out, and it really is like, you know, taking kind of the internet over. I feel like when I go on like Instagram or some of these others, you're seeing like clips or just like it's a lot of like stuff about this, and the movie uh, just kept going up and up every weekend, making more and more money, which is hard to do in this industry. So credit there as well. And the movie's
Mhm.
already killing it at the box office. I've seen this movie twice. I saw it when it first came out, when opening weekend. Really enjoyed it, and then it kind of did stick with me. I was like, I kind of want to go see this movie again. So last week I went and I did a double feature of that and Backrooms, which I saw for the
Okay.
second time as well. Which both of them are killing it at the box office. But yeah, Obsession is very enjoyable. It takes a pretty standard, or I would say a common like story idea. Be careful what you wish for, but it does it in such a unique way where I think one of the most enjoyable aspects for me about this movie is the dialogue, because I felt like these characters, like I'm a little bit older than like the characters in that movie, but
Mhm.
I feel like I know people like that and that they talk that way.
Yeah.
And um, yeah, it was very enjoyable. I was telling somebody because I was recommending this movie, which is a very big word of mouth movie. I think that's why it's doing so well. I
Mhm.
was telling them that this movie kind of ride or dies on the main actress's performance, and obviously, like she does such a great job, she sells
Yeah.
it, and I think that's why this movie is doing so well. But yeah, I highly recommend. It's cool to see horror doing so well, and good for Focus Features. They're the ones that picked this up. They actually purchased it at TIFF for like
Mhm.
$15 million, and that was a pretty hefty price tag at the time. But obviously, now that it's killing it, that obviously looked like a good move in retrospect. And Jeremy, I'm surprised you saw this.
Oh, bro, I saw it 3 times, my guy.
Okay.
3 times. And what's funny is that when they show this trailer in theaters, any horror movie, I never watch in theaters because I hate any jump scares that I see, especially with the big surround sound, the big and with the big screen. But watching this, um, I watched this movie mostly because of the hype at first, and after I had so many of you guys try to convince me to join you in the group chat to watch it with y'all, I had to watch it online first. Think I found it online. That way I could mute when the jump scares might happen, and so I'm prepared to watch it in theaters because I want to experience what it's like to get jump scared ahead of time in theaters with y'all. It was me, Carlos, and Abner and David, and I gotta say, guys, the the reasons why I love this movie so much is because not just because the characters and the casting, it's because the people in this movie, first of all, no one is above 30 years old. They're all under 30 years old. We can all relate to this kind of relationship. I'm seeing people on TikToks and Reels saying how much the boyfriend, how much the girlfriend relates to Nikki, relates to Bear in a certain way watching this film. So it's very relatable. I think that's unfortunate in that case. And again, the director being Curry Barker, who we all knew as a YouTuber, 26 years old, younger than me, and seeing the small budget on this movie to where it's at now, like $200 million right now, makes it the most profitable film of all time for Focus Features, at least. And guys, this I might let me just say this: people are telling me now how I'm obsessed with the main actress in this movie, Indy Neverett, but I have honestly been she's been my celebrity crush since Superman and Lois. She's been my crush for a while, but now that she's gone viral, you guys think that she's my crush all of a sudden from Obsession. Now, I've known her since then, since 30 Reasons Why on Netflix, and now. So I've been part of her fan club for a minute, but so just so you guys think I'm not obsessed with her from this movie, it's been for a minute. But this movie, it's available now to watch in HD on those websites. And without me talking any more further, I want to actually be able to get through some of the reviews I found here. Just very few. Someone rates it 5 stars, and I've been thinking about this movie for a long time. So will I. 10 out of 10, flawless horror movie of the year, which is debatable because I've heard there's also Backrooms, there's the Passengers, there's Evil Dead Burn coming out. There's a bunch of other stuff. There's another
Hokum Hokum
Hokum.
was really good.
Yes, Hokum. I heard. I think Adam or Andrew Scott. And you also had this other horror movie coming out that's based off a video game. I forget what it was called. Um, not Final Destination, but
Resident Evil.
Yes, Resident Evil. Thank you. So there are more horror movies coming out this year, but I definitely think Obsession, as of right now, should be a contender or nominee for Best Picture of the Year. There's 10 nominees for that. Obsession should be on the list, in my opinion, already. And Indy should be a nominee for Best Actress, without a doubt. Someone here goes, very good acting in this movie. That chick is scary. I believe, dude, that's definitely factual. Best horror movie of the year so far. And one more here goes, this is a great movie. This is a long review, forget that one. But as you can see, most of these reviews are 5 stars. There's maybe one or two, 3 stars, 2 stars, but most of these reviews are really high rating. And the fact that it's made all this money on a very low budget just tells you how successful it is and how bright of a future indie especially has. So with that with that said, Perry, Josh, any last thoughts on Obsession? And do you guys think that people should still see it in theaters? Because this movie was supposed to be out on digital this week, this past Tuesday, but seeing how the success it's made, they're keeping it in theaters right now. So, what are your thoughts on that part?
I think you should always support the movie in the theaters. I think this was not just a coming out show for Indy Neverett, but also for Michael Johnston. I think people are kind of underselling his performance as Bear.
Mm-hmm.
Both of them, both leads were fantastic in this. I'm excited for their future as well as Curry Barker. I saw online that his next movie is going to take place in this
Yeah,
Obsession universe, and he was
yeah,
also spitballing ideas of a TV series with the One Wish Willow,
yeah.
which I would be interested in personally. I think there's many avenues you could take with that because
Mm-hmm.
it's such a simple premise, but you could take it in so many ways. Um, but yeah, overall, go support this movie while you still can, and I'm super excited for what this means for the future.
Josh?
Yeah, if anything, I think maybe the theaters are more theaters are picking this up as it goes along because it's doing so well, because it's holding so strong at the box office. Yeah, I mean
Mm-hmm.
this is a great like. I mean, I would have loved to have seen what this movie would have been like at like a packed Midnight Madness showing and like a film
Mm-hmm.
festival. But like if you can go to a showing with like a big full theater, that would be a great environment, a great atmosphere. You're definitely going to get the reactions and there's some great scenes. Rewatching it the second time, I actually had forgot about certain scenes. I was like, wait, where does the scene
Yeah.
go again? So it was great to be kind of on edge again, basically.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd seen the internet kind of rallying around the main actress to try to get her an Oscar nomination. I'm all for it. She is great. It's definitely one of the better performances I've seen in a while. Not just horror, but just in general. She does a great job. And I don't know about Best Picture. I'll be honest, just because horror does
Yeah,
like to
I
get
know.
screwed. But
Yeah.
no, I'm down. I mean, if Amy Madigan can win for Weapons, I'm always down to see more actors or actresses get nominated for horror. So yeah, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, if it's playing near you, if you haven't seen it and you're curious, it's definitely worth going to check out. It's very well made, and I think it's a good buzz movie that you'll be talking about for a while.
Yeah, and I gotta say, speaking of some scenes, man, there are certain scenes that will definitely creep you out, freak you out. You know, Freaky Nikki is definitely freaky. And I gotta point out the lighting that they use in this movie is hands down one of the best lightings I've ever seen in a horror movie ever. The way that they
Mm-hmm.
portray Nikki with the lighting, with some signs of the demons possessing her, there are certain scenes that will give you those kind of hints, and
Mm-hmm.
that's why I think Trey Barker, especially, has a bright future as a director. And he mentioned in his next movie, anything or anyone but ghosts, will have a short little part where a news anchor will actually explain what happens at the end of Obsession, which
Hmm.
I think is a pretty cool thing. But yeah, I mean, I'm looking forward to seeing the careers skyrocket for Cooper, Indy, Megan, and of course, Trey Barker. and I have no doubt that Indy has a whole list of offers. Cooper, I was supposed to interview Cooper actually within the next 2 weeks, but I got rejected because he's working on another movie already. But they reached out. I reached out to them. They emailed me back for hopeful future opportunities. But I'm making it my personal goal to interview one of those actors from the movie because I'm obsessed with this movie, and I never thought it would be this obsessed. But it's in the title, and it works out just fine. It works out perfectly. But guys, yeah, with that said and done, if you guys have not seen Obsession, go check it out before it leaves theaters, guys. I highly recommend it. As someone who hates horror films, I saw it 3 times. That says a lot. So Perry, Josh, with that said, let's go on to our next topic here. And as we all know, it's June, beginning of a super summer. Hint, hint. So Perry, we'll start with you. We know that this summer alone is filled with so many great movies. So let's hear your top 5 films for June.
For June, okay. For I'll go down in order, so from
Yeah.
5 to 1. My number 5, I'm gonna say Toy Story 5.
Mm-hmm.
Um, as many criticisms or concerns I can have for heading into this movie, the Toy Story franchise has not missed.
Yeah.
Each of those movies, including the fourth one, are very good. I do personally think it should have ended after 3, but with this premise and where it kind of uh, you could see it relate to current life. Everyone uses technology now.
Mm-hmm.
It's got me interested, to say the least. And I'm happy to see the full gang back together. So yeah, so that's my number 5, Toy Story 5. My number 4 is going to be Olivia Wilde's The Invite.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
this movie starring Olivia Wilde, Seth Rogen, Penelope Cruz, and Edward Norton. Olivia Wilde is back in the director's chair. I was a huge fan of her first movie, Booksmart. A little less so on Don't Worry, Darling, but I'm excited. I'm excited to see what kind of juice she has for this. This is a movie about a struggling couple where they're kind of falling apart until they meet these neighbors that they have, and they kind of spice up their alone time. Uh, I'll leave it at that. So I'm excited to see that and to see what Olivia Wilde can bring further for the director's chair. My number 3 is going to be Supergirl, the next installment in the DCU. Um, I'm interested to see how they follow up Superman with this. I know this one isn't directed by James Gunn, but he's definitely heavily
Yeah.
involved. Um, I'm a huge fan of Millie Alcock. I'm a big fan of the story that they're adapting with Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Uh, I'm excited to see where they go. Jason Momoa as Lobo looks great. We'll see how this next installment um, helps for the future of this new universe. My number 2 is actually a movie that's being re-released in theaters.
Mm.
It's a favorite of mine for sure. So if you can watch it in theaters, I would highly recommend it, and that is Singin' in the Rain. This is one of the all-time great musical movies. Um, and I guarantee you'll have a smile on your face by the end of it, if not throughout the whole thing. Gene Kelly and that whole crew. It's an old movie, but it's a really really good time, and you could definitely see all the influences on old Hollywood that it had. And then my number 1 movie, which I'm excited to see this week, is Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day. Steven Spielberg is one of my favorite directors of all time. It's got a stacked cast with Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, and Colin Firth and Coleman Domingo. Hell of a summer for Coleman Domingo, by the way.
Yeah.
And it's Spielberg, it's aliens. That's all you really need to have to get me to see this. And what's refreshing is that this is it's an original story. It's a new take with aliens. So that excites me that it's a brand new story as well.
And tomorrow we're seeing it already.
Exactly.
It's reading, so I'm looking forward to that.
I'm very much looking forward to that.
All right, Josh, let's hear your list.
So you're going to hear some similarities. Perry, you and I have similar movies at similar numbers. My number 5, so I'll start from the back. I'm going to go with Leviticus. So I'm going to go with horror first. I think, Jeremy, we saw this trailer at one of the panels in CinemaCon, and this looks very intriguing. I don't have a ton of high expectations. The trailer kind of reminded me, if anybody's ever seen the movie It Follows, where the kind of entity or creature takes the form of other people. But this definitely looks like one of the darker kind of horror movies coming out this summer. I don't know if it's going to be a big movie, so we'll see. But that's going to be my number 5. Number 4, that's what we have. One of the ones we have in common is The Invite. I am also very intrigued with that one. A24. I just remember watching the trailer, and it looks very, kind of like a mix between, is this going to be kind of an oddball comedy, but also like some like dark humor, or is it going to go kind of weird and take a kind of like an interesting turn at some point? I'm Seth Rogen. I'm always interested to see what he does. And Olivia Wilde, and then it's Edward Norton and Penelope Cruz, I think, is the older couple. So that's an interesting take, and I think it all takes place in this like apartment or house. So I think that'll be an intriguing one to watch. And then my number 3, I have Toy Story 5. This is one, as we get closer to that release date, which I think it's like June 19th, the more excited I'm actually getting for Toy Story 5. I'll be honest, I wasn't that interested if you would ask me like a couple months ago. I'm just like, kind of like how you had said, Perry, it's just like, maybe they should have ended this after the 3rd one. I remember the 4th one, didn't care for it too much. It felt just kind of like an add-on. But this one, I don't feel that way. For Toy Story 5, I do feel like there is going to be this kind of closure to it. And I do think they're going to tap into maybe some storylines that have been rumored for a little bit. I won't say too much, not to spoil anything. And now I think they just revealed that, Taylor Swift is going to do a song for it. So I'm sure that'll draw into some people coming to go see it just for that. But yeah, the closer we get to June 19th, the more excited I am for Toy Story 5. So I'll put that as number 3. My number 2, I have Jackass, the last one, or whatever they're calling it. So I just saw the trailer again for it yesterday when I went and saw Scary Movie. And every time I watch this trailer, I'm just like, I'll be there, like opening day. I'm excited for this. I remember watching the last Jackass in theaters. That was like peak COVID, so I think like nobody else was there. But I feel like if you can go see one of these movies with like a packed audience, that would be a lot of fun. Just like 90 minutes of these guys just destroying each other's bodies in these hilarious and horrendous ways. So that's my number 2. I'm actually real stoked for that one. And then number 1, this week, Disclosure Day. I got my ticket for IMAX for this Thursday. I'm super stoked. I hope this movie really does well. I really am pulling for Spielberg on this. The more I'm hearing about potential, like Jeremy, you remember when he was talking about the whole like trailers, they show the 3rd act and they shouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Like, I think this movie's going to have a really interesting 3rd act that we haven't seen anything about. But there's like rumors that I'm hearing that gets me like really stoked for what they could do with this. And I won't say anything for spoilers, but yeah, Disclosure Day number 1. I'm stoked for that. So I'll be there this Thursday. How are you guys? You guys are going to see it tomorrow?
Yeah. I got invited to a screening for tomorrow.
Oh, lucky you.
And I never thought I would get press passes, but like normally I do get press passes. I could pass the whole line and just go right in to those sections of the reserve people. But I mean, thankfully, my guy, a little quick shout out to Steve, Pop Culture Pros. He's the guy who gives me the press passes in the first place. Only two maximum of those. So whenever I have one available, I usually invite anyone and everyone, and whoever usually responds first gets the pass. So Perry responded first, so I'm taking him for this movie tomorrow. But then I'm gonna go hopefully with the group on the weekend to see it again.
Thank you again.
All right, Josh, that's your list.
Yep, that is my top 5 for June.
All right, guys. Now it's my turn. My top 5 for June. Two of these movies I've seen already, but I'm still keeping my top 5 for a reason. At 5, I have. It was gonna be something else, but because I grew up watching this franchise, it's gotta be Toy Story 5. And we all agree, I think, that this should have ended at like 3 or 4 max. I like the ending of it, of when Andy went to college, gave the toys to Bonnie, and then that's it. I think that should have been the bittersweet goodbye. But no, they went with 4, and then now they're doing 5. I thought 5 was just reaching and just milking money, but knowing the story of this, how it really relates to kids these days in real life, I think that's the only reason why this movie could actually do so well in the box office, because how it talks about kids in electronics these days, and rather than kids with action figures, there's no one playing outside anymore. They're always, electronics are taking over the world now. Unfortunately, that's the way it is, and that's what this movie revolves around. Toys against electronics, and I'm looking forward to seeing how this whole story plays out at the end. And I guess, and again, I grew up watching this franchise. The presentation at CinemaCon for Toy Story 5 was amazing. You had Tom Hanks, Woody Allen on stage to present the movie. That's like my childhood right there in front of me. So that's my top. That's my number 5 movie. That's coming out June 19th. I think in 2 weeks already. 4, a movie that I've seen twice already. Scary Movie 6. I've had friends who liked it, friends who thought it was stupid and shit. I think it's a pure dumb funny movie that if you go in with an open mind, no expectations, just to laugh, just to have fun, that's what this movie gives you. It does feel like there's some scenes that just it feels like they're just trying to squeeze in some extra scenes that are not needed, but they just want you to laugh. There are a lot of nice cameos that I didn't expect, surprises, plenty of twists and turns at the end. And again, Dwayne brothers, they're back. Regina Hall is back, and Ferris is back after like 13 years, and they had not lost a beat. They were all amazing, hilarious, and I'm a sucker for these kind of movies. I want to laugh, and that's what I did nonstop. And the guys, Scary Movie 6 is out now in theaters. I saw it in Dolby Cinema last night at 10:30. It was a packed theater. I was shocked, and it was a great time. At 3, a movie I saw twice already as well, The Masters of the Universe. The first time was a screening in normal standard format theater, but then leaving the screening, I enjoyed it. I've not seen the cartoon version. I've not seen the Dolph Lundgren version. It's my first time ever watching this movie at all my entire life. I enjoyed it. I left the theater saying, this movie should be in IMAX. It just should be in IMAX. Last night, I saw it in IMAX, and it was, and just what I thought, leaving the theater for the screening. Guys, this movie has so many moments that are so worth watching the big screen. The first transformation was a beautiful moment to watch in the big screen with the surround sound system. Maybe Dolby Cinema too. But anyways, Masters of the Universe, the cast obviously is younger than the other live action version. They're younger, and there are jokes that adults will understand rather than the kids. That's just it. There's a lot of pause moments in this movie which I was shocked about at all, but it's entertaining. There's a lot of slow motion sequences that actually played out really well, And my standout, believe it or not, is Jared Leto as Skeletor. He was having a blast with this character. He was a blast to watch. The CGI was amazing. Visual effects was fun and actually truly shockingly amazing. And I feel as someone who loves this open world stuff like Hogwarts, Harry Potter, and now Eternia with Rest of the Universe, this is a movie worth watching in IMAX, in my opinion. This is already out in theaters, guys. Go check it out. At 2, I have Supergirl. Guys, watching this trailer, first of all, it comes out June 26th. Watching this trailer, it gives me a lot of vibes of the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I'm not a big fan of. I hate when a DC film gives me vibes of a different movie, especially if it's Marvel on the other side of the bridge. James Gunn's involved with this, so this film will have tons of action, tons of humor. The visual effects, the set design, all that just gives me vibes. And the costumes, the makeup, too much Guardians of the Galaxy vibes. That to me is a small red flag. But I'm walking in to watch mainly Lobo, who I thought Momoa was born to play. If you look at the comics, he's literally that same character in real life, which I think is pretty cool. And I'm looking forward to seeing the whole story. I'm looking forward to it's a DC film. I love superhero movies, so I'm gonna watch it, whether or not people say it's good or bad. That comes out June 26th, and maybe I'll call, guys. House of Dragons, incredible in that show. So maybe she'll be as incredible in Supergirl. We'll see. We'll find out. At 1, Perry, I think I'm in the same boat as you. I have Steven Spielberg's Disclosure Day. I mean, come on. Colin Domingo, Emily Blunt, Josh O'Connor, directed by Steven Spielberg himself, who made Jaws, E.T., Jurassic Park, one of the great directors out there. Him and Nolan, to me, are the top tier directors. And you have Spielberg making a movie about trying to communicate with aliens. What more can you ask for? Literally. The VFX looks beautiful. This story, it looks like it's blending action, drama, emotion, and heart all in one film. And that sounds like a recipe for huge success that I cannot wait to watch tomorrow and in theaters multiple times. This comes out June 12th. So guys, if you love aliens, or if you don't believe in aliens, I guarantee you might after watching this film, because this trailer was one of the best trailers of the year, I think. And there you guys go. There's my top 5 films for June. Guys, comment down below if you agree with the list or if you have your own opinions. Let us hear it. But I'm Josh Perry. Any thoughts and comments on my list before we move on?
Seems like we have a lot of similarities.
Josh?
I didn't think you were going to cheat and name movies that have already come out already. So,
actually, there was a movie that I heard a friend of mine mention that I need to watch. It's not out in theaters yet, but it's called The Furious. The Furious,
yeah.
I've heard, has one of the best action sequences in cinema. Which I love action. I love crazy stunt choreography, in action scenes. I mean, watching Jackie Chan, he's one example right there. But The Furious is a movie that looks actually really great, and that will be my honorable mention. I'll give him that. I'll give you guys that.
All right.
But yeah, guys, that's our 3 different lists. Comment down below if you have any comments, questions, concerns, and let's hear them. Come at us. Pause. All right, guys. Next topic. We're all aware, I think. Wait. 1 second, I messed this. Okay, we're all aware that one of the next biggest movies of the year is coming out just next month, and tickets for that are already out. But I don't know about you guys, but I couldn't get mine because this movie literally crashed my app, Fandango and AMC. I couldn't get tickets, and if I were to get tickets, it was all sold out. Perry, did you get yours?
I was fortunate enough to get them after waiting an hour and a half.
That right there is insane. Josh, how about you?
So I didn't go through AMC to get mine. I'm actually I'm going to be driving 2 hours to Canada to go see this in
Oh
70
wow.
millimeter. But I was lucky enough to find, because I'm just going to go by myself, I found one seat available at the theater I was looking at in the back. So I'm like, let me scoop this up and snag it. So I think I got kind of lucky, but yeah, I'll be going to another country just to see this movie in 70 millimeter.
That's insane. I mean, that's commitment and dedication. That's insane, though. But guys, yeah, man, I just want to make a comment on this. That so many one tweet example. Someone goes, "I survived the ticket war for the Odyssey." I mean, all day. What's up?
I think if you go on like even like today, if you were to go on like AMC, like I did it last night to get my ticket for Scary Movie, and just to go on the website, it put me in a queue just to wait for like a minute or so.
Yeah, I took a screenshot and sent it to my friend that the line was paused. I wasn't waiting an hour and a half. It was paused. I wasn't even basically waiting at all. It
I
was.
will. I will say, if you go now, you can get tickets.
If I can, I guarantee you it's a sold out room.
No. There's. You see all those seats.
Really? Okay. Well, I'm assuming that it's sold out for other theaters elsewhere. But who wants to go to Ventura, anyways?
Yeah, but no, the only other time where I've seen something like this was when I was trying to get 70 millimeter tickets for Dune Part 3, which I was also fortunate enough to get. But this was crazy. AMC, please fix your app. But for anyone who is doubting the hype for this movie, I think they're already wrong.
It's cool to see, like, you know, because obviously like a big buzz has been how the movie industry has been hurting recent years. So like to see something like this is like it's cool to be like, okay, people are that excited that like, they're gonna wait. Like you'd think you're waiting for like a Taylor Swift concert, like with this kind of queue.
Yeah, I didn't know AMC was the new Ticketmaster.
Last time I had to wait in line for a movie ticket was Avengers, either Infinity War or Endgame. I was in line for 2 hours, and the only seats available were the front row. So I basically wasted 2 hours of my life for tickets I didn't even buy. That was the last time I ever witnessed this experience ever, and the fact that people had to wait as much as 8 hours or 2 hours, a variety of hours, for just tickets for a movie, let alone the Odyssey. Because come on, we all know how big the Odyssey is, let alone the freaking cast of this movie. Like tons of A-list actors in this movie, based on one of the world's greatest poems by Homer. I mean, Christopher Nolan directing. That's literally the only reason why this movie, has crashed websites, apps, and Perry, what does this tell you about the Odyssey itself? And do you think that this has a chance to make history in the box office even?
Well, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see, but I think it's definitely a good sign that there's so much buzz for this movie and that tons and tons of people want to see it. I would like to make a comment because I have seen a bunch of stuff online that if you're a person that's reselling the ticket for hundreds of dollars, you suck, and the person that buys it, you're a loser. So I would just like to get that out in the air.
So I should not buy that ticket on eBay for $1,000. You're saying
no, unless you want me to call you a loser. Yeah, that's just absolutely ridiculous. It's not a concert, it's a movie. I'm super excited for the movie. It's one of my most anticipated of the year. But that's just ridiculous.
And what's your hype level for this movie?
I mean, my hype level's a 10. It's been a 10 since the name Nolan was dropped. It doesn't even matter what he does. I will be there no matter what. I was excited for what was rumored beforehand, where Nolan. It was like they were going to make a vampire movie. That I hope he makes that after this. But yeah, Nolan adapting one of the biggest stories of all time, the Odyssey. I've actually started listening to the audiobook for the Odyssey in preparation.
Oh
Uh,
wow.
you could find it on Spotify for free. It's narrated by Sir Ian McKellen, so
Oh
that's pretty
wow.
cool. But yeah, my hype levels have been and will always be the max. This and Dune Part 3 are my top two most anticipated for the year by far.
And Josh, what does this tell you about the movie itself? And what's your hype level going ahead into the Odyssey, knowing the cast and the director?
Well, I definitely think when it comes to this like buzz about the box, like the ticket crashing and everything, like to me, this is a Nolan thing. Like this has become like an event thing with Christopher Nolan, like how Oppenheimer was such a big thing when that
Hmm.
came out. If this movie, The Odyssey, was remade by someone that was unknown, then
Hmm.
I don't think this would be happening. The hype is definitely there. I am excited. Actually, funny you mentioned that, Perry. I was looking at the audiobook yesterday as well, because I was kind of curious, so I might listen to that as well. Because it'd be nice. Because I never read the book in high school, or read the material, so it'd be good to probably know some of it for context going into the movie. Um, but yeah, I mean, for me, this is Christopher Nolan can do what he want, and obviously people are going to show up because he's one of those handful of filmmakers at
Yeah,
this point where I think his name is selling the movie.
yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, I mean, this movie, and in this case, I believe it's not just the director, but just the A-list cast is helping it a lot too. Because last year they were selling tickets for that 70 millimeter, I think, and that sold out within a day, within a few hours last year. And to once I heard that happening, this to me is no surprise. I was on Twitter looking at watching the whole frenzy going on, knowing how my theater was gonna be nowhere near this hectic until the week of or the month before. So I know because I live near Ventura or Dania. I had nothing to worry about when it comes to tickets. So just going on Twitter, looking at this whole entire mess going on during work was a pure enjoyment thing for me. I was having fun watching this, watching people make content on this on their own platforms, and just again knowing how for me I don't have to worry about having a sold out theater until the week of gives me a lot of relief because I could easily get a ticket right now without being in no line and without worrying about having my app crash now. Because that only happened because it was that day it was all announced. Everyone went all at once. But if you give it a couple of days, let it all calm down, I'm sure now it's all gonna be just fine. But I had to make this one topic because I think it's pretty cool when you get a movie like the Odyssey literally crashing websites and apps. Because again, last time I saw this was Endgame or Infinity War back in 2019. So it's been a few years since we saw this happen again, and just seeing this just tells you that cinema is not gonna die anytime soon.
I mean, it's rare to see this for a not MCU movie too. It's like,
No, yeah, yeah, but the fact that this is a Nolan film, non-Marvel or DC film, okay, honestly, DC, I don't see this happening for a DC film ever. But it's not a Marvel film. It's a Universal Pictures, but it's a Nolan film, so I'm not surprised. But I love when things like this happen because it just tells you that the hype for Darcy has always been there. The director, obviously, his name markets the movie more than enough, but the cast just puts the cherry on top for this kind of film. And the trailer in IMAX, I always, even though I see it multiple times in theaters, I recorded my phone every time just to have it just from memory. Because the cinematography and the sound design in this trailer in IMAX is outstanding, and I love it so much. But yeah, guys, with that said, Perry,
Also,
yeah,
also,
go ahead.
also, I'm interested to see that this is the next step for Nolan because he had he hasn't really tackled like
Mm-hmm.
something
This big.
mythological,
Right.
or like fantasy stuff like that. He seems to be doing a different kind of genre for each
Yeah.
of his movies that he decides to make, and to have it be the Odyssey, this big grand scope of a
Mm-hmm.
story. I think very few directors other than him are able to tackle such a big scope
Mm,
like that.
and I don't see anyone else tackling this movie other than Nolan, because just knowing his work, it's just hard for me to see anyone else in the Odyssey. Only Nolan could do this,
I
in
feel
my
like I
opinion.
could see like a worse version made by Ridley Scott or something, but
Ooh, that's a good point. That's a good
uh,
point.
I would still see that.
Mhm.
But yeah, I'm really looking forward to this. Like I say, he's doing the Odyssey now, but he just made a biopic. He's done war movies. He's done sci-fi, superhero.
Mhm.
There's not really much similarity in there. So
Right.
it's really exciting to see that this is his next step.
I just hope that he's not overdoing it just with his whole cast alone. Like how he has a huge name for almost every single role. So I hope that doesn't, you know, put too much like um what you call it. Like, I hope that doesn't feel like it's a huge, overwhelming type movie, knowing the cast, how stacked it is, basically. But but yeah, I mean, Josh, any last thoughts on this movie crashing websites and apps? And are you surprised at all this happened?
I'm not surprised. I mean, I remember a year ago when they were trying to they released the early tickets. I
Yeah.
looked, and yeah, the closest 70 millimeter to me, they were all gone like right away. So I kind of had a feeling like when the general public tickets went on sale, I was like, yeah, it's probably going to be a shit show. Oops, sorry. Uh,
It's okay. You're good.
but yeah, I mean, that just kind of reminds me, like you were talking about, like Endgame, Infinity War. I think I remember like the last Spider-Man movie was kind of like that, where
Mm,
you would go on that whatever app and it was not working right away. But yeah, it seems like maybe we'll see more of this to come for these kind of hyped event movies.
yeah.
It's good. It's good to see. It's good. It's healthy for the industry to have stuff like this happen, even if it's
Mhm.
AMC might get criticism, but it's like that's the overwhelming effect of all these
Right.
people wanting to go see this thing. So I'm okay with it.
Right, and honestly, don't be surprised if this happens to Spider-Man again, because knowing how many views that trailer got, it like broke the all-time record of views for a trailer. So I won't be surprised at all if this happens for this movie again next month. But I have Amazon Prime, so I'll be seeing the screening 2 days in advance. So I might be okay with tickets because not a lot of people where I live, I think, have a Prime membership because they had a Amazon Prime screening for a different movie, and it was half empty for that screening. It was a pretty big name. I forget what it was called, and it was half empty. So the fact that I have Prime, I'm taking my sister with me to see this 2 days in advance, and then if I can, I'll give it a few days before watching in theaters. But the fact that I have Amazon Prime, and I just won't be surprised at all if Spider-Man Brand New Day does this as well. Just knowing how many views it has already by now. Like, oh my god, it passed I think 1 billion views, which is crazy. But yeah, with that said, Perry, Josh, any last thoughts on this
No, I'm
before we
just
move
looking
forward?
forward to it.
All right, guys. With that said, time for our final topic, a much more lighter topic too. I think it's called hashtag Now Watching. It's been a new segment for the past 3 episodes. So Perry, we'll start with you. What have you watched recently that you recommend to others?
So I have two things. I'll be really quick about it. Um, they're both pretty old. One is The Red Shoes from 1948. Since this episode was talking about obsession, uh,
Mm,
this is definitely a great story similar to that, where you are so obsessed with your craft and being the best, and it just takes over for everything. So I would really recommend that. Can't believe it was made in the 40s. A beautiful film. So I can't recommend that enough. And then my other thing, it was just the 25-year anniversary of this show, and it's one of the best that I've seen. It's Band of Brothers over on
Yeah.
HBO. I know actually yesterday was the anniversary of D-Day, so to support those who have served and those that fell for the country and for the world. In this case, I would highly recommend that show. It's some of the best filmmaking you'll see, not just for like war, but just in general. And the stuff that you get with the real people involved from Easy Company is super powerful. It'll make you tear up.
Sounds good. Josh, how about you?
I'm gonna cheat a little bit. As far as a show, I haven't actually started it yet, but I've been hearing good things, and I do want to check it out. Spider Noir. So that
Yeah.
is, speaking of Spider-Man, if you maybe want to watch something that gets you maybe a little excited for the movie. I love Nicolas Cage, so it's only a matter of time before I watch the show. The question is black and white or color. I'm not sure what I want to do yet. But I've been hearing good things, so maybe check that out. Probably can't go wrong there. And then really just any movie in the movie theater. There's so many good options out there. We already talked about Obsession, Backrooms. Like you were talking about Scary Movie. Like I said, I saw that last night. It is dumb fun. I think a lot of jokes don't really land, but it's still like to see the Wayans brothers back in the Scary Movie was a fun kind of nostalgic thing. So if you're in that millennial age, you might really like to see that. But yeah, man, just go to we're in the thick of like the summer. Well, actually not thick, but kind of more in the beginning still. But there's so much good stuff coming out, and there's a lot of good stuff out there. Go get out of the house, go see a movie, go sit. Maybe if you got the recliner chairs for a couple hours, and yeah. And if you're at home, watch Spider Noir.
Yeah, I mean, I fully agree with you because I had also on my list Spider Noir 100%. I'm watching that in both color and black and white. I'm on episode I think 5. I have 3 more left to go. I love Nicolas Cage like as you, and if you put him in a crime detective type show movie, I think he really does a good job, especially in this one. I love hearing him as Spider Noir in the animated version into Across the Spider Verse, and seeing him in live action. He's just as awesome as the cartoon version. I love the supporting cast, and I think this show is better in black and white than the color. I think it's meant for black and white, in my opinion, because the fact that you have options for that, the fact that you have options, I think that tells you as a little hint to watch it more in black and white than color as a usual show or movie. So the Spider Noir, it's already out on Amazon Prime. If you guys have it, you could binge all episodes now. I think it's 8 episodes, about 45 minutes long, I think, 46 minutes. And of course, scary movie, dumb funny. Go in with an open mind, and there's tons of surprises, twists that you actually probably won't expect. And this is not your 5-star Oscar worthy movie. It's a pure dumb funny movie that if you just want a good laugh, that's what it does for you. And of course, I have to say, it has mixed reviews, but if you grew up watching the cartoon version of Masters of the Universe or the Dolph Lundgren version, this one is a more modern style. I have to admit the visual effects is incredible. I love the whole open world of Eternia. I love Skeletor was my standout, I have to admit. I love Tila, Camila Mendes as Tila, and not saying that because I'm biased because I met her in real life. Her as Tila, great casting, but Skeletor is my standout. And unfortunately, Alison Brie as Evil Lynn, not it for me. Not great casting for me. That's the only flaw of the movie. The soundtrack is still in my head. The music is still stuck in my head. It's that fun. It's colorful, and it's a great family kids film, even though there's some adult jokes in there that us adults would actually get more. So I think that's why it's suitable for all ages for that reason. So yeah, guys, Spider Noir, like Josh said, Masters of the Universe, and Scary Movie 6, all of the shows slash movies I recommend watching, especially now in the summer. What better way to start than these three names right there? And guys, with that said, that marks the end of this final topic. Perry, Josh, any last thoughts on either of these topics that we discussed today?
No, just go to the movies. It's a perfect time right at the start of the summer. It's when things get fun.
No kidding. Yep, it's a big summer ahead, and we're only in the beginning of June. So, guys, if you don't have your AMC A list, I would get it now if I were you. Josh, how about you?
Screw you, Regal. Get out of here.
Yeah, I only have one AMC, and it's not too close near me, so I'm more of a Regal guy.
Oof.
But if you can see these movies and see them in IMAX or some sort of premium screen, it's a lot of fun. Or do something different. Go to the drive-in, or I don't know, go see a movie in a different kind of way. Do something like that. But yeah, get out of the house. It's too hot out. Go do something outside. Go see a movie or get out of the house.
You said get out of the house, but it's too hot outside. That's two different things.
I meant get out of the house and go to like a theater and go there.
It's indoors.
Get out of the house, go outside, go sweat a little bit, go see a movie.
It's indoors, guys. There's AC, so you'll survive. It's not outside. But yeah, without further ado, I want to thank Perry and Josh for joining. This is episode 9, guys. Sticking for episode 10 to come, hopefully sooner rather than later. I'm trying to get these episodes down within a week or two, not a month afterwards. But life gets in the way. What can you do? Hopefully, we have some special guests down the line, but they're all busy with their own lives. But yeah, episode 10. Look out for that, hopefully next week or two. And with that said, this has been a great episode. And guys, thanks for joining, and I'll see you guys soon.
Thanks for having us.